The New Nigeria People's Party (NNPP) has said it's not in any alliance with any political party in the forthcoming governorship and state assembly elections in the country. In a statement signed by National Publicity Secretary Ajiboye, said no member or official of the party at all levels is authorized to enter into any such talks with any political party ahead of the elections on Saturday. The party warned that it will sanction any of its members who endorses a candidate of another political party in line with the party's constitution, and the penalties include suspension from office, suspension from the party, and possibly expulsion.
And joining us in the studios to discuss more is Ajiboye. He is a member of the APC Presidential Media Campaign Council. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight on the program.
Thank you for coming.
First of all, congratulations. And of course, we've seen how magnanimous in victory your candidate has been, you know, stretching the olive branch to the opposition. But just when the certificate of return was given to him, Rotimi Akeredolu, the governor of Ondo State, did confirm that a reconciliation committee had been set up. But Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi, that's the PDP and the Labour Party, they said they are yet to receive any phone call or any members of your committee visiting them with regards to this reconciliation. So do we have an idea, you know, when this reconciliation committee will start its work?
Precisely, I do not. Well, first of all, let me express the fact that I'm a very happy person sitting in front of you.
Of course.
There's nothing like the joy of victory that we enjoy right now. It was a hard-fought battle, but we thank God we won, and we won fair and square. There's no controversy about it. So these ones, they are going to court is just to exercise some rights that they possess, which is fine, you know. Now, talking about the reconciliation, we know if our leader, the president-elect, is a fantastic Democrat, he's not a winner-takes-all kind of person. Because the most important thing about this election, this victory, is to give Nigeria the best. Because without giving Nigeria the best, every one of us will be embarrassed. And I can tell you for free that Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president-elect of Nigeria, who shall be president from May 29th, will give Nigeria fairness, equity, the best way possible by any human being. So that we are saying we are reconciling with, you know, extending olive branch to those that lost in the election is just because the kind of democratic values we have. We don't believe we should gloat on our victory to the detriment of of those that lost.
What you say to those who says this is a way of you getting them not to go to court?
No. Have they not gone to court?
They have, but
so,
a case we know in court
is
not final. It can be withdrawn.
No, you see, Nigeria is bigger than anybody. Our interest is to get Nigeria back on the track properly, where the children will have a future, where the adolescents will have a hope, where adults will have prosperity, and where those that are crying will have someone to wipe tears off their face. That is what our government is all about. We're going to provide for the Nigerian people a government of hope. We renew the hope of the people. So we're not interested in the kind of battle they are preparing for. That's not our own interest. We've won the election with over 1 million votes. It's not... look, if anybody says election is not credible, let PDP come and tell me how they won Castina. Let Labour Party tell me how they won Lagos. And we are not crying. APC is not complaining. They are the ones complaining. Let them first of all get among themselves who was second. Then we now know where to take the battle. We are not interested in all of that. We believe we can work together. If they believe in Nigeria, this is the time for them to come on the table and let's build Nigeria.
When you say that you can work together and you want them to join you to build Nigeria, are you saying that your administration will be willing to take them on board to work with you in your cabinet? Is that what you're saying?
Our party hasn't particularly set a policy direction on how the administration is going to look. But the fact I know, the character of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, his mindset and his plans for Nigeria, I can tell you sitting here, he would work with anybody who has something to offer.
But isn't it too late not to have a policy direction at this moment?
I didn't say that. You got me wrong.
Okay.
Now, the administration itself taking off, who is going to mount, who is going to handle what? Right. It's a different thing from that. If we have a manifesto, why won't you have a direction? What is the meaning of a manifesto then?
Okay.
Well, so, Abiodun, you know, you're talking about winning the election fair and square, and that you're saying INEC did its best from what you had said from your earlier thing. Yes. So really, INEC just yesterday admitted that there were flaws in the process, talked about technology, even, you know, logistics, and the big elephant in the room, transmission of that result. And some are of the opinion that your party actually took advantage of some of the lapses in INEC. I want to get your reaction really to that your party won because of lapses on the part of INEC.
So if our party won because of lapses, what stopped the other parties from winning because of the same lapses? They don't see the lapses. Now only we all see lapses. These are excuses. We've gone too far in this democratic journey for us to listen to trivial excuses. Listen, I have told you a very simple, a very simple calculus to know that that election was fair, right? We lost Castina to them. We lost Lagos to them. We lost Nasarawa, where the party chairman comes from, to them. We lost Jos, where the DG of the campaign comes from. I mean, come on. I do not see any. If INEC says they had infrastructural problem, doesn't Nigeria have infrastructural problem? So you want INEC to transmit when there are no networks, or when there are threats of hacking. So how reasonable would INEC have been to come back and say, well, I'm sorry, the server was hacked and blah, blah, blah. So we go back to another 375 billion to run another election. Is that the point? Is that what they are saying? Listen. What may have happened, and let me express it clearly, what may have happened, I didn't say what has happened. What may have happened was, these people probably banked on, you know, tinkering with INEC server. So INEC got intelligence, perhaps sufficient intelligence, that these people will tinker with our server. They decided to do manual. But manual is admissible in law. The law that set INEC agrees that they could do manual transmission. So what is the crime in that? You have your 774 local government, you have your 176,000 polling booths, you have your agents, and every election that happens in any polling booth, they are signed, they are countersigned by the agents. So the result of every polling booth is known. You collect that result and take it to the ward. From the ward, 77, you know the result. You take it to local government, you know the same result. If there are discrepancies along the line, somebody would have shouted, the same result is brought to the state and is brought to Abuja. So what are we saying? Okay. So just because they didn't transmit electronically has flawed the whole process. Is that the way it works?
No, that's what they're saying. This is about carrying along the electorate and then making sure that they witness every process as much as possible, so that arguments like this will not come up in the first place.
Who should witness every process? In every polling booth, there are party agents, and they.
Well, the INEC chairman had sometime last year, I think in November, made a promise to Nigerians that the results were going to be transmitted real time during the presidential election to ensure that Nigerians are able to follow the results as they come.
November 21, 2022, Punch says that we may have to transmit manually. Go back to it and see it. So, if you had said that, you see, because the point is simple.
Yes.
No, madam.
Right.
The point is very simple. Transmitting manually is not a crime.
At all.
So, it's not against the INEC regulations and their acts. So, why must anybody stampede INEC to transmitting electronically, and once you don't transmit electronically, the whole process is flawed? What kind of argument is that? What kind of a loser's argument is that? It's like saying if the child does not walk and the king says, let us slice the child. Some say, oh yeah, kill the child. The fellow that had the child says, no, please do not. That's exactly what has happened. Why would you? If they had won, would they say would they not claim the victory?
Okay, now that they haven't won,
and they have gone to court,
and
we shouldn't even be discussing it anymore.
We are talking about the system because at the end of the day, we can't talk about. We're not looking at the case in court. We're talking about INEC and it even admitting that there were flaws in that election, because we do have another election coming up in days. There's an issue with trust.
American election have flaws?
Of course, elections everywhere have.
So a flaw.
It's not about the case now of the opposition parties. Why we're having this conversation is because we do have other elections coming up. Really, that's why this is up. I needed to clear that. So Tolu,
okay, so now
wanted to wrap this up.
Yes. You have held out an olive branch to those who have lost in the election.
Which is the normal thing.
What has been their reaction to you?
Just like you said, some of them said they had not received our invitation, and it is possible no invitation has been sent so far. We're putting the committees, putting everything in order. Then you now write officially. It is not a verbal thing. So they should just be calm and wait for us to give them official invitation for a roundtable talk, and now we're going to move Nigeria forward. I want to assure you simply and categorically that Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government is not a winner takes all. Well, we will work together to put Nigeria on the pedestal of glory, and that is what is more important to us. All of us labored so much for this election. Now that we won, we should run Nigeria properly such that our children can have a hope of the future.
The expectations are very high. We
will meet them.
We can only wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
Ajiboye, a member of the APC Presidential Media Campaign Council, thank you so much for joining us tonight.